What I don't want people to do is skip steps, like an 85 two-stroke and you skip up to a 254 stroke. I think the next step up is a 125 two-stroke.
What's going on, everybody? Kyle with Dirt Bike Channel here. I am sitting next to my son's, this is a 2023 KTM 125 XC. And as you can see, I've got all the plastic stripped off of it. This was my son's bike for the last couple years. He's 16 now. In fact, he's 16 and a half. And I'm gonna move over the winter time. I'm going to move him up to a 250F. He likes to ride a lot of moto now. So I'm gonna move him up to a 250F. He wants to stick with KTM, even though I told him to go with Yamaha, but he wants to stick with KTM. So what we're gonna do with this bike is kind of freshen it up for his little brother. So I've got another son that just turned 14, and he is gonna move on to this bike. So tore all the plastic off. I'm gonna rebuild the motor, put a new piston and rings in it. It's got about 68, 69 hours, somewhere in there. So we'll do piston and rings. I might even do a high compression head on this bike with that refresh. So we're gonna go with rebuilt motor, maybe a head. We're also going to do a suspension overhaul on this thing. I'm gonna give this down. I haven't even talked to my buddy yet, but I'm gonna send this over to moto experts in, or at least the suspension over in Spanish Fork, Utah, and have them go through suspension. I don't know if we're gonna do a spring conversion or not yet. I'm gonna talk to Kevin about that. But just a fun project to do with this bike over the winter time here, because it's way cold. So cold here in Utah, we're not doing a whole lot of riding. So that's what I'm gonna do with this bike. So got the thing all stripped down and ready to start tearing into this. In fact, I was gonna tear into this yesterday, but I'm like, hey, I wanted to shoot a little bit of footage on this to kind of show you. So I'll probably do several videos on this throughout the next couple of months as we go through and kind of just freshen this bike up and get it rebuilt and get the suspension overhauled and all those things, and just freshen it up for my 14-year-old so that he's had a lot of hand-me-down bikes. He's basically had all his brother's hand-me-down bikes. But in a way, I don't feel too bad, because a lot of times what I've done is we've gone through and improved them once he gets the bikes. And so, sorry, Case, you've kind of had some hand-me-downs from Connor, but we've always made the bikes better. So we've put some aftermarket parts on it that your older brother didn't get. And we'll make this bike as good as new, or actually better than new, is what my plan is for that.
Hey, just real quick, if you're looking to get your first full-size bike and you're like 13, 14, 15, and you're above about 5'6", I do really suggest that you get a 125 two-stroke. I have a lot of calls with people when they're asking what bike they should buy, and a lot of times they're like, hey, I've been on, you know, this bike or that bike or the other. But in that frame, what I don't want people to do is skip steps. I personally feel like most of the time, if you go from like a smaller bike, like an 85 two-stroke, and you skip up to a 254 stroke, or if you're maybe on like a trail bike, like a TTR 125 or a DRZ 125, which would be a 4-stroke, I think the next step up is a 125 two-stroke. That's what I've done with both of my sons. In fact, that's the point of this video, is we're moving my 16-year-old son off finally to a 254 stroke, and my 14-year-old will be moving up to this 125 two-stroke. I think it makes sense not to skip steps, and I do think that a 125 two-stroke is a crucial step in most of our riding. If you're gonna be a kid and have all these bikes on the way up, don't skip it. The 125 is an amazing bike. We've had this bike. That's the point of this video. It's been an awesome bike for my son, and now it's going to be an awesome bike for my next son. And I think you shouldn't skip steps. So get a 125 two-stroke. They're awesome.
I mean, and if I can swing it too, I'd love to get a YZ250F just to do the track with the boys, because the boys do love to ride tracks, and I'm tired of riding these enduro bikes on the track. But anyway, that's kind of what I'm planning. So yeah, it should be a fun project. This bike, it's in really good shape, to be completely honest, like, because I've kept up on levers and things like that, and grips, and just a lot of the wear parts. It's getting to the point where it needs a new sprocket, so we're gonna do a sprocket, chain, sprockets on front and rear, and just kind of go through everything. I may do some foot pegs, because we kind of blunted a foot peg over on the other side by washing it, like having it tip over when we're washing. But this has been a great bike. So we've done off-road, we've done off-road with this bike, and then my son's done a bunch of just like mini motocross here at a local circuit, and he's had a ton of fun with that. So it's been a fantastic bike. Like for me, it's been really great to have the XC over the SX. because it's more of a do-it-all bike and go off-road. We started with the off-road tank, and then my son ended up wanting to eventually switch over, and when he's riding moto, we bought an SX tank for it, so that's what that one is. It's still mostly full of fuel. So, and we've swapped back and forth for different things. Like we did a ride a couple months ago where I actually swapped and put his cross-country tank back on the bike just so we wouldn't run out of fuel. So this thing has been really great for us. It's the TBI motor, I believe, and I can look right here. Yeah, so it's the TBI motor here for the 2023 model, and it's run really, really phenomenal for us. So I've loved that bike for the boys, and yeah, my son's faster than me on it. In fact, my other son on that the KTM 85 SX over there, he's faster than me on the track on that bike. He'll definitely be faster than me on the track on this bike. We haven't done a whole lot of off-road riding in the last year together, so I don't know if they're faster than me off-road. I have my doubts, but we'll just see. Definitely on the track, they're fast in those corners. So anyway, that's what's going on with this bike. A lot of people ask questions about what I have going on with my sons. If you want to have a call with me and just kind of talk motorcycles, if you're just getting back into dirt bikes, or you want to get a bike for your son or your daughter or whatever, there's a link right down here. I'll put it right down here. It's on my website, actually. On the contact form, there's one of those options says book a call, and then you can just book a 15-minute call, get it on my calendar, we can chat. If you want to support these videos and this project, and there will be a ton more of information on this, use my links down in the video description or on my website, dirtbikechannel.com, for Rocky Mountain ATV. Those guys are amazing, and all the parts that I buy for this, I'm pretty sure everything from Rocky Mountain ATV as we go through and freshen this bike up. So anyway, that's what I've got for you guys. Hopefully everybody's having a fantastic November, and yeah, stay tuned for a project. Hopefully I'll get some content done on this bike and you can kind of come along with me. So thanks for watching. That's what we're going to be doing. Leave us in the track.